Okay, lot. So in today's video, we will be building a factory for the Buck Capsule B-type item. As always, all factory showcases that you see in these videos are always fully modular, which means you can infinitely replicate them as long as you have the depot space. All of the factories you see here are 100% efficient, which means they only use the exact amount of items you need, and there will never be any clogging as long as you're able to supply enough items. And all of the factory blueprints showcased here are fully compatible with any other video that you see on my channel, which means that you can easily place one next to another and not interfere at all. Okay, so for the items that we will need for this factory, there will be 120 barium ore per minute, and you will need a buck flower plant. You can start with one, however, in order to ensure that this factory works at 100% efficiency, I recommend having no less than 50 of them in your storage. However, very important point is make sure that you are not hitting a limit. Otherwise, the system will stop working because this will clog up with a lot of buck flowers and you will not be able to send the buck capsules back to your base. As for the power requirements, these are the items that you will need in terms of the production buildings, and in total they will be using 120 power in order to power it up at full efficiency. So before building, make sure that you have enough material and enough power to support this build. The build itself will have dimensions of 15 wide and 20 blocks tall. So if you look at the factory right here, it starts right here and lasts all the way up until here. Just to make it a little bit easier for you to see, I will remove this for now so that we can focus on this factory itself. So the way it works is, usually if you have seen any of my previous builds, very similar to that. For my farms, I want to ensure that they are self-sustaining, so I do not require any manual input or anything like that. As long as you have the materials needed, it will start working right after placing. As always, EU and America server blueprints are in the description. If you are in Asia, I will showcase the factory real quick for you. So this is the first part. Let's say we're looking up until right here. Alright, so for the first part, you can see here, feel free to screenshot or pause the video. And for the second part, here is it, right? Nothing too difficult for this one. So the way it works, all 4 ferrium parts are going into the refinery. This is the usual stacked build that I like to do, especially when I have a plant in the rotation as well, because the plant buildings usually take a lot of space, so I can cram these a little bit more to ensure that I can fit all of the plant requirements later. So yeah, all 4 ferriums are going into the refineries. Then you have 2 molding units. Molding units require 2 items to produce one, so you do need to feed 2 of the inputs into them. So as you can see, the left side is going into one molding unit, the right side is going into the other. The reason I'm doing this is just so I am able to fill this electric pylon, which powers up pretty much all of the machines, as you can see. If I push it there, it could power that one as well, but we have this to power the rest of the buildings. So once we have the 2 bottles produced, we're pushing it into the final filling units, which requires 2 bottles every 2 seconds and 2 buck flower powder every seconds. Now for the black flower itself, first of all, of course, we are duplicating the seeds. So 1 plant turns into 2 seeds. We're feeding 2 of those seeds into another plant buildings, and as per usual, to make sure that this is sustainable, one of the plants is gonna be going as material for the item, and the second plant is gonna go into the protocol stash in order to go back to the base, so that everything you produce right here gets put back into the storage depot. And for the items themselves, the buck flower plant gets fed into the shredding unit, which produces the 2 buck flower powder that we need, and both of those are fed into the filling unit, ensuring that we have 100% efficiency. So every time an item is built, a new one starts building at the same moment. So yeah, relatively simple factory, I'd say. Here's another look just in case you need to build it by hand if you're not able to use the blueprint. And yeah, Make sure to stay tuned for further videos. Check the description if you need the blueprint code as well as a playlist with all of the factory builds. And yeah, peace.